Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise and get you straight to the insights.
That's the goal.
And today, we're tackling something huge, really reshaping careers right now. It's the AI-powered workforce, reskilling for survival.
Survival, maybe, or maybe thriving. We've sifted through a big pile of research and articles.
Yeah, a deep dive for sure.
Yeah,
All exploring how AI is, fundamentally changing work.
right. We see the job displacement, that's clear. But also, and this is interesting, the emergence of totally new kinds of roles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the landscape. What's our mission for you today with all this material?
Okay, so our mission is really precise. We want to distill the most important stuff from these sources, cut past the noise.
Get to the actionable bits.
Exactly. Focus on the essential skills, the strategies you actually need, not just to sort of get by, but to really find the opportunities in this AI future.
Okay, so let's unpack that. The sources we looked at, they're pretty clear that yes, automation through AI is displacing certain jobs.
The repetitive tasks, admin, data entry, some customer service stuff.
Right. But what I have found fascinating and maybe less talked about is how quickly these sources pivot. They highlight these completely new jobs AI is creating.
That's such a key point. It's not just loss, it's transformation.
Yeah, it's about what's appearing, not just what's vanishing. Like you mentioned prompt engineers before we started.
Exactly. Roles like AI prompt engineers or AI ethics officers, things that barely existed 5 years ago. They need this weird mix, right? Technical skill and communication.
So that brings us to what the sources call the skills gap. Can you break that down a bit? What skills are really in demand?
Right. The skills gap, it's central to almost all the material. So beyond just knowing how to code, which is still important,
Sure.
there's a huge need for people who can interpret what AI models are saying, use those outputs for actual strategy.
So not just running the model, but understanding the so what.
Precisely. Data analysis, yes, but more nuanced. Discerning patterns in AI insights. And with machine learning, it's often about curating the data going in, improving performance. That takes human oversight.
And it's not just tech skills.
No, absolutely not. Adaptability, being willing to learn constantly, that's maybe the biggest skill. Lifelong learning isn't just a buzzword anymore.
Which makes you wonder about traditional education, doesn't it? How are schools adapting?
Well, the research suggests it's happening, but maybe slowly. Some universities, vocational schools, they are starting to integrate AI curricula, faster training paths. But it's a big ship to turn.
Okay, so the gap is real. What concrete steps, what strategies do the sources suggest for you, the listener, to tackle this, to reskill, upskill, beyond just learn Python?
Yeah, good question. The sources give some very practical routes. They mention specialized online courses quite a bit.
Like Coursera, EDX?
Exactly those. Platforms offering AI and ML certifications are specifically highlighted. Also boot camps, especially the ones focused on projects.
Hands-on stuff, data science, AI development.
Right. They seem effective for getting skills quickly. But here's something often overlooked in just focusing on courses. Networking.
Ah, the human connection.
Yes. The material really emphasizes building relationships in the AI field, going to virtual meetups, engaging on LinkedIn, contributing to open source projects even.
Yeah, so it's about finding mentors, spotting those opportunities that aren't formally advertised yet.
Spot on. It can be just as important as the certificate you earn. It's about being in the community.
That makes sense. Now, something else that came up a lot was this idea of human-AI collaboration. Can you elaborate on that? It's not just replacement, but augmentation.
Absolutely. And this is where, counterintuitively maybe, human skills become more valuable, not less.
How so?
Well, AI is great at computation, pattern recognition at scale, but things like creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, that's us.
So the AI handles the data crunching. The human handles the insight and the empathy.
Kind of, yeah. Think about marketing. AI finds trends in huge data sets. The human crafts the creative, emotionally resonant campaign. Or a doctor using AI for diagnosis.
The AI spots patterns and scans.
No, the doctor brings the empathy, the judgment, the patient communication. The sources show these new hybrid roles emerging, roles needing human ingenuity to guide the AI.
Like AI as a co-pilot.
Exactly, a powerful co-pilot. It's about working with it, not against it.
That really brings it all together. So wrapping this up, what does staying ahead of the curve truly mean for you listening right now?
The overwhelming message from everything we read. Embrace continuous learning. Make it part of your career DNA. and cultivate that growth mindset.
Viewing change as opportunity, not threat.
Yes, seeing new AI tools, shifting job demands as chances to expand your skills. The sources urge you to actively seek out development, formal or informal. Be a perpetual student of this landscape.
So the crucial call to action here, drawn from all these sources, is really about being proactive, taking steps now to reskill, upskill, shape your future in this AI-powered world.
Absolutely. Don't just let it happen to you. And maybe, here's a final thought to chew on.
Yeah.
If our core human value in this era really comes from synthesis, creativity, empathy, things AI struggles with, then what totally new frontiers of work, what new kinds of value are just out there waiting for us to imagine and, well, build?